Hello, everyone. Welcome to Average Joe Watch Reviews, where we do more than just reviews. Welcome to the first live stream of 2021. And I have my special guest in the waiting room, and I'm going to introduce them each individually. But before I do so, just want to wish everybody a happy new year. Thank you for all your support, and we're off to another new year. Looks like we have 0 people in the chat, but that's fine. I know you guys will both come on in. So, with no further ado, let me introduce my special guests. First and foremost, we have Josh from the Town Watch.
Hey everybody, how you doing, Average Joe?
What's going on, buddy? Welcome back.
Thank you.
And we have Matt from Rock the Watch. He just approached, or actually just passed, the 1,000 subscriber mark. Huge congratulations to him. He's got an awesome channel. So everybody in the chat, if you could wish him a congratulations, would definitely appreciate that. Here he is, Matt from Rock the Watch. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
All right. And last but not least, we have Chris from Watch Chris. He has the most subscribers of all of us, and he is definitely our mentor. And I learn a bunch from this guy each and every time he's on. So definitely a pleasure to spend each week with him. And here he is, Chris from Watch Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
Hey.
How's it going?
All right. Let me take a look at the comments. Looks like we have quite a few people in the comments. We got Cowboy Swami. We've got Kenny Beer from Pittsburgh. We got Shani Eileen, my fiance. Clam Walker, David Schwartz.
Yeah,
welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. So, we also have Lucian. Lucian, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. So, let's wish everybody. Let's congratulate first of all Rock the Watch for hitting that 1,000 subscriber point.
Thank you. Thought it would never happen.
For some of you in the comments that don't have YouTube channels, that is a really hard feat. It really is. And it's one of the hardest when you're on YouTube, that first 1,000. So once you get past that, man, I don't want to say it's smooth sailing, because I'm still struggling. Josh, I think you could say the same.
It's a grind.
I do see Chris. I think once you reach a certain point, because Chris is almost at 9,000 now.
Yeah.
Would you say you're cruising at this point, Chris?
Approaching that 10,000.
It's still never it's never as fast as you want it to be, and whatever. It is what it is. But I think after 1,000, it starts to get a little bit more momentum, and that's really it. It's fun. It's a good time. It's nice to that when you put out a video that people actually watch it. It's better, that way than people not watching it. So, it's nice. It's fun.
Awesome. Well, happy New Year to everybody here. You guys have any New Year's resolutions for your channel, or any new things that are popping up on the channel for this year that maybe you made mistakes last year and want to fix this year? I don't know. Anything you want to say? Josh, you want to start?
Yeah, just the normal things. Just try and get better and better at making the videos. At some point, I see these channels who do the really nice videography and photography. I want to try and get better at that. I'm not going to necessarily try and be somebody else, but just try and improve in that area. And just keep steady putting out the videos.
Getting a lot of congratulations in the comments,
Dave
by the
Schwartz.
way.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Schwartz Force, what's up?
I was just going to mention too that Ball is sending me another watch, so I'm excited about that. It's on the way. So
yeah, you have a pretty exclusive deal with Ball.
Well, it's not a deal.
Well, I call it a deal because no one else is reviewing their watches, and they have you sign the contract saying that you'll give the watch back. But the fact is, you're reviewing their watches exclusively at this point now, from what I know.
Awesome.
So that's something to be something to definitely be proud of.
That tells you they feel comfortable with you. You're doing a good job. They keep sending you watches.
at the end of last year, they sent that one watch in, and I said, "Hey, will you send another?" And they said, "Why don't you contact us after the new year?" And so that's what I did the other day. And they are sending one of their flagship models. So look forward to reviewing that soon.
Awesome.
Very cool.
What about you, Chris? You got anything new coming up in the new year?
No, we're heading towards 10,000 on the channel, so
that's big.
That's big.
I'm gonna try and do a big giveaway. I think for 8,000, I did a small giveaway. I want to do something pretty big. I'm trying to work with a couple of brands that hopefully will be generous, and then I have some things here that some watches that I'm going to give away as well. So I think I'm going to do one really big giveaway. What I want to do is give away a collection, like a small collection of watches. We'll see if I can do it. And yeah, that's really it. So that hopefully is soon.
Cool. Great. That's awesome, man. You're almost there. Just about another 1,000 to go.
Yep.
And then what about you, Matt? You just reached 1,000 point, man. I know that feels good. What are the plans now, man?
Just keep marching on. I want to get. We were talking earlier. I noticed. Wait, other side. Yeah, I noticed Chris has stepped up his studio game right there. I was telling you guys I want to get some of this backwards. I'm backwards here. I want to get some. Get that wall off. Get a whole background thing done, and kind of like exactly what Josh was saying. Get a little bit more professional. Not go, crazy into it, but just step up the game a little bit, get a little bit better gear and stuff like that.
Amazon, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everything I got is from Amazon.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Chris, your background there looks sweet.
It does.
Thank you. Yeah, all Amazon. That's $38 from.
Yeah, Amazon's.
I still have more. I'm going to build out. I'm building a whole studio for live streams and everything else that like news videos. I'm trying to build something that I could actually do news videos on and stuff like that. So I like doing those news videos. So
it was good.
Yeah, that's awesome. And for Average Joe Watch Reviews, basically what Josh said, just continually trying to get better. Actually, this year I actually have a bunch of videos in the queue, so they're ready to go. So I'm a little bit more organized, I guess you could say. I have a ton of material, which is a good problem to have. Been very blessed with a bunch of watch brands sending their watches in to me and basically having them stacked and ready to go. So again, a good problem to have. So yeah, definitely some new things to come, and always just trying to do new things and kind of go against the grain and try new things that may not be the most popular, but the number one rule for Average Joe Watch Reviews is to have fun, and rule number 2 is to first learn rule number 1. So as long as it's fun for me, I'm going to continue doing it, and the day it's not fun, bye. So
yeah.
All right, cool guys. Let's get into the topic at hand, and that is watch investing. I am definitely no expert in this field. I did do a video on it. It was the video regarding should I sell my Tesla shares to buy the Omega Silver Snoopy? And we were just talking off air in regards to the Silver Snoopy and how when I made the video, it's a $10,000 watch sold from Omega. The problem is, are you going to be able to get your hands on it? So I actually was scavenging around the internet, and I found a couple sites that are selling the Silver Snoopy, and they're right now around $30,000 to $35,000. And Josh brought up something that I was going to hit on, which is, okay, they're selling it for 30 to 35, but are they actually selling it? Like, are they?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
is anybody buying it?
Have they sold?
Right.
So my opinion of that is, like, if you can't get your hands on one from Omega, you're probably going to have to, be scalped and have to probably pay 3 times the retail. So What are you guys' thoughts on that first and foremost?
Well, when you told me the price that people were listing them for, I was blown away because
Yeah.
I thought I didn't know how much the MSRP was, but you told me what, it's a little less than 10 grand.
It's about 10 grand.
So
Yeah.
triple the price or more.
Mhm.
That just seems like crazy to me. But maybe they're testing the waters too. They'd rather start high maybe and bring it down than start too low. I don't know how it works, but.
Well, I mean, like I said in my video, I mean, these aren't limited editions. They are limited to production, but they're going to produce them, from what I understand, year in and year out.
Yeah.
So my prediction in my video was, okay, in the beginning, when everybody's scrounging around to get one, are they going to sell for double, triple the price and then finally settle down? Only time will tell. What are your thoughts on this, Chris?
So there's a phenomenon with watches that it doesn't matter the price. I mean, you could talk about a Q Timex. When the Q Timex first came out, for whatever reason, people want the new cool watch that wasn't there yesterday.
Right.
And then for whatever reason, people are crazy enough to go on eBay and then spend double the price on a Q Timex. But if you fast forward just a few months after that, you could buy a Q Timex on eBay for the list price. And then eventually you were able to buy them at a discount. And now they've come out with 15 different iterations. It's still a great watch, but that's what happens. There are watches out there that are investment watches. I think that a lot of people call some watches investment watches. I personally don't look at watches that way at all. I have watches that have appreciated in value, and I have watches that have depreciated in value. I flip watches. I buy and sell watches a lot. I have a core collection, and then I have ones that are not in my core collection. I've lost money on sales. I've sold things and then lost money because they went up in value. However, I really don't look at it as an investment because it's so tied to the market, where if the stock market or if things aren't going good in the economy, the first thing that people do is stop buying luxury brands, luxury watches, luxury clothes, luxury cars. They keep what they have, and then when things get really bad, they sell what they have.
Yeah.
And then it's the people who aren't hurting or buying these things at a very big discount. So one of the brands, one of the only brands, one of the few brands that are kind of shielded from this right now is Rolex. Although really things haven't gotten bad enough, I think, for prices for Rolex to go down. But are Rolex's investment watches? People can buy Rolexes at list price and sell them for more than what they paid. Absolutely. However, there's two things that you always need to consider. If you are able to buy that watch, that means that you've spent a lot more money to be able to buy that watch, because you can't walk into. I have a guy that works with me. He's actually pretty senior to me, and I work in a bank, and he has, plenty of disposable income. And he's like, "Hey, Chris, you know about watches? I want to buy a stainless steel Daytona. I see that it's listed on Tourneau for 12,000 something." He goes, "Can I just go to Tourneau? Why everybody says it?" I said, "No, it's just not how it works." I go, "You've not bought any other luxury watches from Tourneau. If you walk there right now and walk inside and say, 'Here's $12,000. I want that, stainless steel Daytona with a ceramic bezel,' they're going to say to you, 'What have you bought from us before?' And then if he says, 'Well, I bought 5 Omegas, I bought this, I bought that,' then they'll say, 'Okay, well, you're a pretty good customer of ours. I'll sell you that Daytona when the next one comes in.' By the way, it might be a year, but when it comes in, you can get it. You're on the waiting list, and you'll actually be on that waiting list. If I go in there, because I never buy anything, or one of us, any 4 of us, right now, we don't buy anything at retail, right? If I go into, I buy some things at retail, but we try not to buy at retail, right? If I go into the Rolex dealership and I say I would like to buy that stainless steel Daytona, they'll be like, "What have you bought from us before?" I'll be like, "Absolutely nothing," and they'll be like, "There's no waiting list," or they'll say, "There's a waiting list. It's 5 years. I'll put your name on it," and they'll never call me. That's it. So, is it an investment? Kind of. Is buying a Rolex an investment? Kind of. Is buying any watch an investment? Kind of. And then there's the other flip side of that. What happens when you try and sell that watch? Now, if you buy the watch at retail, you're way ahead. But if you sell that watch, they'll never sell you another watch because you can't sell it right away. They'll if it's a very hot watch like a Rolex, they're going to hold the warranty card. Number one. All these other watches, such as the Snoopy that you were just talking about, Omega has come out with Speedmasters that have been really hot, and unless they're actual limited editions and they're never going to produce them again,
Right.
the prices fall down. They just always fall down. They came out with the Dark Side of the Moon. Prices skyrocketed. They came out with the skeletonized Dark Side of the Moon. That was very hot. I was looking to buy one when I was looking to buy a watch for my 40th birthday. I was buying myself a watch, whatever. And I went to my local AD, and I was just like, I'd like to, and they're like, there's a waiting list right now, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's an Omega, and they're like, yeah, there's a waiting list. So then I went and looked in Gray Market. They wanted $15,000 for it.
Right.
I wasn't going to buy it for $15,000. I would have paid the $9,700 or whatever the retail was, but I'm not going to pay the $15,000, and I didn't buy that watch. That's it. So when you go and try this, sorry, I'm a long-winded explanation here, but when you go and try and sell that watch that you bought, let's say you buy a Hulk and you actually bought it for over retail. Let's say you bought it for $12,000 3 years ago. Now you go and try and sell that watch. Try and sell it to Bob's. Try and sell it to Watchbox and see what Watchbox says to you. Put it on eBay. Take a big risk. Put it on eBay and see what happens. Because what's going to end up happening is eBay will take 10% of the selling price. So if you sell it for $13,000, which you're not, if right now you could sell it for $20,000.
Right.
But they're going to take a big chunk, and someone could try and scam you. It's not that hard.
Pocket. Yeah,
exactly. Then Watchbox, forget about it. They will not offer you, if you bought it for $12,000 or $13,000, they're selling it on their website for $19,000. They're not going to offer you $19,000.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to offer you $19,000. They're going to offer you $15,000, maybe, and then. That depends. And then when you send it to them, they're going to try and get you on the condition. They're going to try and get you on something. That's what they do. And then they say, okay, well, then we'll just send it back to you. That's what happens. I've done it. I've done this.
So they're reverse negotiating with you then. They give you the price, you send it in, and they say, well,
you could buy a watch from Watchbox right now, any watch on their website whatsoever. Buy it, hold it for 3 months, call them up and try and sell it back to them, and they're going to say, "Sure, we'll take it back at 50% of the original selling price."
And you never even wore it, touched it, anything. Same condition.
You could keep it in a box. Doesn't matter. Same condition.
Unbelievable. What are your thoughts, Matt?
Yeah, no, I agree. They do the same. What Chris was just talking about right there. They do the same thing with any product. I mean, cars, for example. When I got my latest Corvette, I traded in 2 Corvettes on that thing. One of them, they gave me $13,000 for it. And I knew it was going to happen. Like I knew, I didn't care. Sure enough, go on the website the next day, got it listed $18,000. So they just made $5,000, and that gives them room to play. But they're in the business to make money, so I get it. I think generally I wouldn't say watches make a good investment, except at this current point in time, Rolex, which is out of control. But like Chris said, man, watches. I think the majority of my watches, except for the Milgauss, have probably lost money. Oh, yeah. Will they go up? It's a gamble. Some of them probably will go up in the future, depending on, all kinds of factors. But I say as a general rule, I would not buy watches as investments. They don't make good investments.
Rolex, AP,
Yep.
Patek Philippe, certain Patek
yep.
Philippe's, certain Richard Milles, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you even see some of these watches. They're like, oh, I watch certain YouTube channels on the high end watches, and that producer Michael. Will you ever see that guy? Producer when he goes into that watch store that he always goes into, Beverly Hills or whatever, and they'll say, they say it. Oh, this watch retails for $250. I'm selling it right now for $115. I'm like, oh, that's less than half. First of all, that's a house, but
that's an expensive Invicta,
right? But it just lost 50% of its value, or its asking price. It lost.
There's a good point here. The Bald Watch Collector. When you look at precious metals, I mean, obviously, the metals. If gold goes up, the watch is going to go up. But how many watches in this day and age are made of precious metals? Right? I mean, even
ones
Rolex
you can't get.
Steels.
Yeah. Those are the ones you can't get, right? All the precious metal ones, anyway.
No, those are the easiest to get.
Are they? Yeah, but they're the most.
And they're the most discounted.
But yeah, no one's buying them.
No one's buying them. But technically, not really. It's not the case, because the amount of gold, you're not paying for the gold, because if you want a stainless steel version of a gold watch, you're going to pay way more than that gold is actually worth to buy that gold watch.
Yeah.
The weight of the gold is not what you're paying for. The markups on gold jewelry and gold watches are insane. And the markups on stainless steel is insane as well, but they're ridiculous. So it's not even,
Yeah, I think that was more true of the vintage watches back in the day, when they were really, you saw like 10 karat gold filled, and I think that's when it was really a thing. But now in today's day, I mean, it doesn't sound like it's really a thing.
Well, I think maybe, like to Chris's point, maybe it's because they're easier to get. Like, let's say the Rolex, the Bluesy, right? It's white gold. That's the one that's white gold, I think, right?
The Bluesy.
The Bluesy, yeah, is the white gold. So even at $15,000 to $20,000 for a stainless steel Submariner, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Bluesy was around $50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even though the stainless steel Submariner is ridiculously overpriced,
That's because it's white gold.
White gold, right? But it's essentially the same watch. It's the exact same watch, just white gold.
Yeah.
But you're telling me it's 3 times the price. So maybe that's why. There are more people out there that could break off $15,000, which is still a lot of money for a watch, than there are people that could break off $50,000 for a watch, and then it just gets worse from there.
I feel like watches, for the most part, are like cars. You buy a brand new watch, you take it home, and it's already lost value. Yep. I mean, even if you sold it the next day, and peel the stickers off, you already lost money on that watch.
Yeah, because technically it's used.
Yeah,
you've got to hold on to. It's got to be something there's like a lot of factors in it. It's got to be something that is either rare to begin with, so it has to be something that there's not a lot of them being made or were made, and then if there were a ton of them made, then they need to get destroyed in over years of time. Just people wearing them, people driving them, using the cars, and just destroying them, and then eventually the prices will go up.
Right.
But it depends on the car. It depends on. There's a lot of factors. It's not just
So Kevin S., other than Rolex, Patek, and AP, are there any other watches that could let's just put it this way. Are there any other watches that are not notorious for depreciating, but have a really good chance of appreciating? I can tell you right now, Hublot is probably not one of them. Breitling is actually not one of them as well. And Matt, me and you love Breitling.
I love them.
But awesome. They depreciate in value. Omegas, they hold their value pretty well, but they depreciate. They're not.
Oh yeah.
You can't compare them to Rolex that way. A lot of people, they want to compare Omega and Rolex together, but Rolex pretty much, and it's almost like a Porsche. You buy a Porsche, it's going to increase the value pretty much. Jerry Seinfeld collects Porsches. Definitely a collector watch, Rolex. Whereas Omega, Breitling, all those other types, they're going to depreciate in value. Just, how much are they going to depreciate? Are there any other brands though that you guys could think of that maybe, I don't know?
The only one off the top of my head I could think of is one that Chris did a video on today, Ming.
Ming.
Those immediately sell. And there's even some micro brands like Zelos. Zelos came out with that. Have you guys seen the one? Random Rob did a couple videos and stuff like that. They came out with the Damascus, they call it. The one that's like blue. It's Damascus blued, and they have a yellow one.
I hate that watch.
Yeah. Those things, but they were $1,500 when they were sold, and now they said they're selling for $2,500, $3,000. On is anybody buying them? I don't know, but they're selling for almost double the price right now out there on eBay. Ming's another one that Chris talked about.
Yeah, what about like What about like these smaller independent luxury H. Moser? I don't know a lot about them. And what's that other one? A. Lang and Zona or something like that.
A. Lang and Zona's not. It's not an independent, but it's owned by Richemont. But they do well. They do well. Pigeon do well on the secondary market. But things like H. Moser and C, they don't do well. They're awesome watches. I want to own one. They don't do well. Okay. The thing is that the demand for it's supply and demand. So Rolex, they make more watches than any of the watch brands that we've just mentioned. You can combine them all, and they make more than all of those watch brands. So it's just that there's so many people,
there's so much hype, and
it's something that Average Joe said. He said it's a collector's watch. I kind of disagree with that because technically, if you walk down the street and like I said, I work in New York City. I walk down the street. 50% of the guys that you see, they have a Submariner on or Datejust or a President's everybody's wearing a Rolex. Just everybody's wearing a Rolex. And it's just if you've made money,
it's what you do.
You buy the Rolex. Mm-hmm. And then it's also the collector. So there are people who collect it. Absolutely. But, and like I said, I love Rolex, rock the watch. You love Rolex and you bought a Rolex.
Yeah.
I've just never brought myself to buy one because I don't want to pay over the list price for one. But the thing is that a collector, it doesn't take just the collectors to get them to be skyrocketing in price and for all of these watches to be swooped up. It's just everybody buys one. It's just the guy that the father who buys his son a graduation gift.
It's a Rolex.
It's a Rolex. It's and that's just
Yep. So I work.
It's the brand recognition.
It is. It's funny you say that because I work. I talk to you guys where I work. There's this Marine general who was getting ready to retire and used to talk a little bit about watches. He had a Rolex, a Submariner. He didn't really know the reference number, really did. But the point of my story is when his daughter got married, gave her a Rolex. When his son got married, Rolex. He's telling me he bought everybody in his family Rolexes. That's just what they do at big life events. They had their child, bought his son a Rolex, So you're right. It's just, but he didn't really know anything,
It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
It's a status symbol. It's like buying a Mercedes.
But that's one of the reasons I went with the Milgauss. I wanted something that was a little bit different, off the beaten path, a little bit funky, like maybe the Air King or Milgauss. And I always liked the Milgauss with the blue dial. And I think it goes great with that green crystal and blue dial. So I went with that one. And everybody's expecting that thing to be discontinued any day now. But keep soldiering on. So
I have a question. With all these micro brands that are popping up, do you guys foresee any of these micro brands ever having a watch that would be a collector's investment piece, possibly?
Sure. A Ming is. You just mentioned Ming. Ming is, but like Chris said, and the thing they do very limited runs and then they don't go back at all. So that's what you get.
They're doing true limited editions. That's what I was saying in the video that.
Yeah.
If you're going to say, unfortunately, Omega, they come out with a limited edition, they do a Snoopy, then they come out with another Snoopy, and then they'll just come out with another Snoopy. And this is not going to be, now they come out with a limited edition, then it's a slightly more limited edition, and then it's a limited production, and then they'll come out with, it's just
like Seiko.
It's incredible. And then they came out with the dark side of the moon, the white side of the moon, the gray side of the moon. They just did every side of the moon.
The man on the moon.
They just invented sides of the moon and just started making watches. Awesome watches, but it's ridiculous. And, it's just too many Iron Man the cartoons, whatever they can do, they'll do a limited edition on.
Mm-hmm.
What Ming is doing is they're saying, okay, we're going to make a watch. We're going to design this watch. We're going to design it. We're going to do 3 runs of it, or we're going to do 2 runs of it. After that run, we will retire the case. We're never going to make it again. That's it. So they came out with the 1801, which was the Abyss. This was a concept watch. They came out with it. The original price was $10,000. They actually came down and made I think a stainless steel and then a titanium version. They were selling it for like $3,200. They sold out of all the batches that they made of it. And then that was it. They retired the watch. They will no longer be making that dive watch again. So if they make another dive watch, it will not look like this dive watch. It will not have that case. It will not have that dial. It will look like something completely different. It'll still have that Ming design language, but it's going to be a different watch. That, to me, is a true limited edition. Now, if I really like that look of that watch, which I do, and I actually contacted Beans and Bezels, who got one, and he was just like, he's like, nah, I'm not. His is broken too. It came broken. I don't know.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty crazy. But he even at that, he doesn't want to sell it. So I completely get it. And on top of that, I think you could probably get there was one that was on eBay that was selling for $5,500, and they were 32 and change. So with taxes and everything, let's call it, $3,700. So people are already selling them, but really, again, we go back to it. Are you really making that much money on this? I mean, you paid $3,700, you sell it on eBay, you're getting charged about 10% on that $5,500. That's and then you have another 4 or 5% through PayPal. So you're talking about another $700 off the top of that. You're making very, very little money on that watch. It looks like you're making money, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You're making very little money on that watch.
So, in other words, risky business for sure. So, we spent the half hours talking about watch investing. And I'm sure probably let some air out of some sales out there who maybe wanted to get into watch investing. What do you guys invest in? And before we do that, let's do a wristwatch check and see what's on your wrist, and is it a future collectible or investment piece? Let's start with Mr. Josh.
I'm wearing that Citizen Automatic Kuroshio. It's a Japanese model. Rivals the Seiko Presage, so I just did an unboxing earlier this week on it. It's a pretty cool piece, textured dial on it, mineral crystal like the Seiko Presage, but it's a nice looking piece, so enjoying it.
That's cool.
Now, is that one only sold in Japan?
I bought it from a eBay seller in Singapore.
Right.
But it is a Japanese model. It's limited edition too, which I didn't know when I bought it. But
right,
I got a really good price on it. I think I paid $319 for it, but like every other seller on eBay, it's in the 400s. So I'm happy with the price I got.
So what do you think, Josh? Potential investment piece? I mean, it's
probably not.
It's pretty exclusive.
I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it though yet. I might sell it eventually, but we'll see.
Oh, so you might flip it?
Yeah, because
flippers.
So you might flip it for a profit.
Maybe. My plan is I have a Seiko Presage too with a green dial, so I'm going to do a comparison, and then whichever one I like better in the end, I'm probably going to keep. So sell the other one.
Any spoilers? You liking it so far?
Yeah, I like it.
Awesome.
Is that one Eco Drive? Did you say that?
No, this is an automatic.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh, okay.
The 8S, I think it's the 8S movement. Miyota 8S.
Yeah, and this is 8013 or something.
Oh, 8013.
Yeah.
It's an 8 series Miyota, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't hack, right?
It does.
It does hack.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And you don't see a lot of automatic Citizens.
No, they really focus heavy on that Eco Drive.
On the Eco Drive in the US.
Yeah.
And I wish they would focus a little bit more on the automatic. So So I guess eBay's the place to go to, huh?
Oh, you can find
Yeah.
some cool things. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Chris? What you got on today?
New camera setup here, so I have to take it off.
That looks like a chunky monkey, man.
Oh, there it is. AP.
Offshore.
Offshore diver.
Very nice.
Nice.
Do you care to tell the viewers how much that watch is worth?
20,000? A little under 20. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll be honest. It retailed for 12, so it's gone up.
What year is that? What year is that one?
I really don't know. I've had it for at least 6 years, I think. Maybe a little less.
So what model of that, or what year is that one? 80,000. I've seen some of those for $80,000.
So not the
Royal
offshore
Oak.
diver, not
Okay.
the offshore diver. It's the Jumbo, which is an older model. I think it's a 36 millimeter. I want to say they're expensive, but those are very rare, and that's we get back to that. But also the 15400s, the stainless steel versions that are the Royal Oaks, not the offshores,
Royal Oak.
just the regular Royal Oaks that are sort of a sport watch, sort of in competition with Vacheron Overseas and the Patek Philippe Nautilus.
Right.
So technically, this is a Gerald Genta design. However, I mean, Gerald Genta did not design this giant watch. This is 41 millimeters, by the way. It looks
It looks
It
huge.
looks massive.
it looks huge. It's
Yeah.
like a brick on my wrist. It's huge. It's very, very heavy.
Now, did you buy that? And if so, like where would you get a piece like that?
I stole it. Yeah, so,
All right, let me end this on the end. Where's that end button? I can't find it right now.
Yes,
I got through
I
nefarious
murdered a guy
means.
in Atlantic City for it. So the police come.
That's a hell of a watch, man.
I bought it when it wasn't as popular, so I bought it at a pretty good discount actually when these were not popular at all. So, like I said, I think it has to be at least 6 years ago. So, yeah,
Nice.
I didn't pay retail for it. So
Would you consider that a investment piece?
technically, I guess you could, but it's such a
Right.
fluke. I mean, that is something that if you would go buy an AP Royal Oak offshore right now and try and buy one that you think is going to be collectible, it's a shot in the dark. The ones that are
Yeah.
collectibles right now, you're not going to be able to buy them. So
No.
it's the ones that are sitting on the shelves that people don't want are the ones that you're going to be able to buy.
That's right.
Why they don't want them, who knows? But that's just the way it is. And this was one of them. Like the 15400 was one that I wanted, and I was just like, it was trading slightly over list price. I probably should have bought it, but I ended up getting this instead. Now these have gone up, but I mean they're not astronomical.
Okay. Cool, man. Good piece. You wear that out.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I know we spoke on an episode before where there's watches that we just
You
wouldn't
don't
go
wear out in town.
out in
Oh,
town.
yeah, I wear
Is
this
it
out.
funny?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it wear this
yeah,
one out?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't go out of my house right now because of
Right.
various reasons. But yeah, I do wear it. I mean, I don't sometimes I don't wear a watch in my house. So I don't wear it because I'm typing all the time. I'm always on my computer working. So
You need a typing watch. That's
yeah,
you need a G-Shock just for
G-Shock just for typing.
yeah.
typing. You don't scratch your.
That's
I'm
right.
not even worried about scratching I'm worried about scratching my desk because
Right.
all the clasp.
With
just
that
like, it's
watch,
just
I
you can
would.
see
Yep.
a little area on my desk that's just all scratched up.
Mm-hmm.
I have one of those like aviator desks that I do work at. They're like riveted, and it has like a metal. It's like a metal looking from Restoration Hardware thing, and it scratched the whole like.
Ooh.
Oh wow! And the sound alone probably is annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear it. What about you, Matt? What you got on today?
So it just showed up today. I'm wearing my new
I
Zenith
saw it.
Defy
Oh man, I saw it.
ceramic.
Oh, come on.
That thing looks sick.
It just showed up today.
That
Yep.
I
looks
cannot
sick.
believe it.
Yep.
Woo!
So what is
So
that?
I wanted to go with this is a Zenith
Oh,
Defy.
Zenith. Oh,
Yeah.
God, yeah.
So I wanted to go with the titanium metal one, but I got so many metal sport watches, and I got one sitting here like this Frederic Constant, which, by the way, Chris, is a fantastic watch.
Yeah,
It's
that's nice.
that is a nice watch.
I only paid I paid $1,300 for this, right? And it's a great watch. It's thin. This is a fantastic watch, but this looks a lot like, minus the dial. I'm just mean the shape and the integrated bracelet looks a lot like the Zenith Defy, the metal one. So I said, I already have that Frederic Constant. I like it a lot. Yeah, exactly. So I said, it looks just like that. And I like the Frederic Constant. I'm not getting rid of it, but I want the Zenith Defy. So I said, let me mix it up and go with something different. So I went with the white
Thing
ceramic.
Is
and
crispy.
It's,
Crispy. Woo!
I think this is the best wrist check we've had on the show yet. And I'm glad it's on my show. So, or at least
because
my channel. So,
Matt, is that because you crossed 1,000? You bought yourself that little gift, or what?
man, oh man, that's a watch.
So can we ask what did you pick? Because I could try and guess, but
so
you
I
mind
got it
talking
from
about
Joma
this?
Shop. I'm a huge.
You got it from Joma?
I did.
It's the ceramic, right?
It's ceramic one, yeah. $5,200.
52. Not bad.
Yeah, plus
Not
tax and shipping, it was like, I think it was 56. So,
Nice.
and I guess they go for almost $7,700.
I would think $8. Yeah.
What do you think of the classic? Because that's the one that I was going to get, and I still want to get, but I just there's so many watches in my head that
right. So to me, again, it looked just like, or vice versa. Either the Frederic Constant High Life or that one looks just the same. The dial looked a little plain to me. It's a gorgeous watch, but I wanted something. I wanted something to mix it up a bit. So
my next watch,
craziness and
I wanted to do either the Zenith Defy in the classic titanium with. I wanted the Defy 21, but I don't know. I think it might be a little crazy. I don't know. It looks cool, but I don't know if I'll get sick of it. And then, or a Lynn Verdelin. I don't know. I want another integrated bracelet watch.
Yeah, that's the bald watch collector. He said the Frederic Constant is his Grail watch. It's a COSC certified. That's right, it's COSC certified. You can get it just for a little over $1,000 on the gray market. I told him to comment on. I think he left a comment on my video. I told him, get it if you can get it. It's a great watch.
Nice.
I love Zenith. Very good,
me too.
good brand. It's a brand that you don't hear a lot about either.
Right.
And there's certain brands out there that I wonder why you don't hear a lot about, and Zenith is definitely one of them. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, and according to the box and the date, they've been around since 1861, 1865, something like that.
Yeah, like I mean, some of these watch brands they fly under the radar. But
like Vacheron, maybe marketing. Maybe it's just all
it's
marketing.
It's got to be marketing, and I guess these guys don't need the fancy marketing because obviously they're making the money.
I mean, why did he just buy a brand new Zenith Defy in ceramic that retails for almost $9,000? Why did he buy it for $5,200?
Because they're not selling.
Because they're not selling them. That's it. And the only way it gets to Joma Shop is because they actually liquidate them onto the gray market. So they're sending.
That means
them
it sat
onto the
around
gray
for a while, right? Nobody bought it.
So no one bought it. So that's why it ended up there. So
lack of marketing gets to the gray market, huh?
So
what year did they come out with that white ceramic one? Do you know that?
Was it last year? 19 maybe?
Okay. That's a nice watch though.
But the Zenith, the El Primero,
it's
one of the best chronographs ever made. Pretty complicated, and just they're amazing.
There's some huge brands that used to or still do use that movement, don't
Rolex.
they? Rolex did. That's what I thought. Rolex used to use that, or do they still?
Yeah, Rolex used no, they don't anymore. They used to use it in Daytona in the 90s, and then then they developed their own in-house chronograph. But a few brands have used Zenith movements, but I think the most famous would be the Daytona,
Mhm.
and those are worth a shit ton of money.
Mhm.
Sorry, I cursed.
So I'll try to bleep that out later. I have the Dan Henry
Oh,
from Matt Rock the Watch. He gave
Very nice.
this to me out of the
Mhm.
blue. Was not expecting it. Very, very kind of him. So want to thank him again for this beautiful piece. He actually had it on his channel, and I commented in the comment section saying it's a beautiful watch. It's a watch I've had my eye on for a while, and he just said, "Hey, what's your address?" I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
what's your
"Oh."
address? Send it on over.
I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, I guess he's going to send me a Christmas card." Okay, so Christmas card came in a nice box, and pulled out this Dan Henry, and I was like, "What the?" I was floored, man.
Yeah.
The Watch family is just an amazing group of guys, and Matt is definitely no exception. And just want to thank you for that. And you actually
Yeah, no problem,
gifted
man.
the whole
crew.
crew
Yeah.
here a watch.
Well, I wanted you guys to do videos on them too, and I
Jeez.
knew you guys would enjoy them. And I tried to pick a watch. I said, like for Josh, I noticed he mentioned he didn't have any chronographs in his collection,
Mhm.
and I thought that would be a great the Panda. I gave him a what was it?
Orient.
Orient
that's it.
Solar
Yeah.
Panda. Yeah.
And I said that would be a perfect watch for him. And then Chris
It
mentioned he
is.
liked the red bezel glycine. So yeah, man,
More than
I love
generous,
that
brother.
watch. It's awesome.
that's a great watch. It really is.
I made 2 videos today,
Mhm.
and I was in the video. I was wearing it, and every time I did the wrist check, I was like 10.5
Yeah.
10.6 millimeters thick. That's insane for
Yeah,
Pretty good.
for an automatic.
yeah.
Yeah.
It does. If they came out with a 40 millimeter
Hmm.
version of that watch, it would give a lot of micro brands a very good run for their money.
Yeah. That I actually had a gray bezel one. I ended up selling that one too. That one's off on the way to Canada. I gave you the red bezel one. They make great watches, man. But one thing, like we talked about previously, the cases for those about being Swiss made, the cases for those watches apparently are made in China. Not saying they're bad.
That's
But it's funny how we were talking about before about the it has to be 60% of
Yeah,
the
I was gonna say,
materials
you think
used or
that Frederic Constant that you have
Uh-huh.
on your desk, you think that's 100% made in
oh
Switzerland?
no, yeah.
In fact, I have some insight into that because I've worked with brands that are sort of they have, I get into the details of actually where they're actually sourcing a lot of their things, their components for their watches, and you'd be surprised.
I got my first super chat ever.
Oh,
Sam Walker.
nice.
Congratulations.
$5,
Yes.
man. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, brother.
Thanks, Clam.
Appreciate
Cool.
that very much, man.
Very nice.
We'll divvy it up amongst all 4 of us, right, Joe?
Speak for yourself, man. So let's see, what do we got next here? Oh, thank you very much, Junior. Yes, the watch community is awesome, except for me. I'm selfish. I'm going to keep that whole $5 there.
So
What would that work out? Let me see, $5 amongst 4 of us there.
yeah. So Zelos Mako 3, that's the one. The Mako 3 is what you lent in for me to review, right,
Yes.
Chris? The Mako
Yes.
3, yeah, that's a
Yes.
great watch too.
So Matt will be reviewing the Zelos
Yes.
Mako 3
I will.
and unboxing and no, not unboxing. I didn't send you the box. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
my
no, I
hands
did
on one of those
massive
too.
unboxing. Yeah, that's a great watch. Zelos makes some really good watches, man.
Yeah.
Does Matt ride a sleigh and dye his beard white?
Yeah. It's a good question.
Occasionally.
Well, he definitely was Santa Claus this year.
I'll never
for sure,
tell.
man.
He was. Hey, Matt Stingray, I want to, after you get done with that Zenith, you mind sending it over my way so I can review it on the channel? Okay. Appreciate that.
Holy smokes, guys. The money is just flowing in here.
Wow.
It's raining.
Oh, nice.
It's
Look at
raining.
this.
Oh, no.
Hey, Clam, man. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
man. Really appreciate that.
Wow. Wow. Look at that.
Oh, Kevin S said great Fugu review. Yeah, I got that one right here too.
That's
I was
a
going to
sweet one.
say I had a ridiculous Christmas, so this is basically what I got for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
The Breitling Avenger
Really nice.
43, the Frederic Constant, and the Citizen. So
Sweet. Nice haul.
yeah, I made out this Christmas.
So I wanted to ask you guys about your investing strategies. Do any of you guys, first of all, it doesn't sound like any of you guys really invest in watches, so which is probably a good decision. But I figured it was definitely worth bringing up for those out there that probably are curious about it. I guess I think the four of us would agree that it's really risky business, and you probably should get into the hobby because you love watches.
Yep.
And if your watch happens to go up in value, God bless you, sell it, maybe buy another watch. But to make it a stock market for the watch community is probably a no-go for me, and sounds like it's for the rest of you guys as well. But I wanted to see, do any of you guys invest in anything? Real estate, stocks, bonds? Anybody can jump in on this one.
You know what? Tell you the truth, my wife handles that. I think she invests in Bitcoin and something we were talking about the other night. She handles that. We used to have rental property, and my gosh, if you guys haven't had those, I'm just not built for that. I can't. It's great to help take off on your taxes and all that kind of stuff, but going over there every other week to fix stuff and tenants not paying their rent, and it's not for me. But the wife dabbles in the stock market a little bit.
Yeah. I don't do too much. I have a small little pile of precious metals. And also there's a, what do you call it? Like, you know how they have Kickstarter for funding projects? What do they call that? Crowdfunding. That's it.
Crowdfunding. Okay.
So they have that for, whatever. And so recently they've come out with these investment crowdfunding things for real estate. You can just do it all online. So I got into one of those. It's called Fundrise. So I put a little money in that, and they basically invest the money in these huge, expensive millions of dollars of real estate stuff. So it makes a little bit, almost 10%,
Speaking
return,
of investing,
so.
Junior just added another $5.
Another $5. Nice.
Nice.
Raking in the cash.
So thank
Very
you.
generous.
I'm thinking that maybe these live streams are a little bit of an investment for us.
Yeah. You're well on your way to a Rolex.
I feel like I'm hitting the lottery here, guys. Thank you very much.
That's awesome.
Now you each get $5.
Yeah.
You made my math that much easier. So I want to thank you guys out there. Now, Chris, I know you invest, man. What do you got going on?
I like Matt Stingray. I have a rental property, but it's like a new rental property. It's in Brooklyn. I actually lived there for a little while, and then I was able to. So yeah, I bought property in. I had 2 apartments in Williamsburg. If anybody's familiar with Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But I bought pretty early on.
That's a nice area, right?
Yeah, it wasn't, and then it became a very nice area. But
gentrified, huh?
Yeah, gentrified. So I bought in one of the first major construction buildings there. And then, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, a little bit in the stock market. And then, other stuff, but not
watches.
Not. I was going to say, I buy and sell watches, but I tend to make money on watches when I buy and sell, but that's only because I usually buy watches at a very good price. That's it.
And that's just basically to fund your hobby, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm a big stock guy. I handle my own stock account. I've been doing it for quite a few years now, and I just got into the 6-figure club. So
nice,
cool. I'm gonna pat myself on the back because I have to admit that I'm self-taught, and it's something that I was really passionate about. And not having a job this past year, and to get over that hump really was a blessing from God. So God first, actually, wasn't me, it was Him. But seriously, and that is serious, by the way. But I think everyone should invest in something, and to work a 9-to-5 job and to put your money into a savings account. I did that all my life, and it got me nowhere. And over the past 3 years, I literally put, I didn't put six figures into the stock market. I mean, I put probably 25% of that in there and watch it just grow astronomically. So, you know, I highly recommend if you buy a rental property like you guys did, like I envy you guys for doing that. Believe it or not, I'm not the big people person that I perceive on YouTube. I actually love stocks because I don't have to deal with people.
Right.
I go on my phone and I buy a stock and I don't see anybody. I don't talk to anybody. Whereas like rental properties, it scares me because, you know, I hear all these horror stories and, you know, oh, you got to take them to court and this and that. It's like, you have to go through the eviction process. And I know I'm probably, I'm like Debbie Downer on this because I know there's a lot more upside.
Yeah, well, it depends on the type of property. We're not going to get into that, but if you're buying a house where, you know, you're renting it to someone who's not going to be paying or is questionably going to be paying the rent, yeah. But if you're buying something that's higher end, there are repercussions to not paying your rent. So, that's something that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have dabbled a little bit in precious metals. I have a little bit of a silver collection, but Josh, you have silver, gold. What is your
Some silver. That's it. Yeah. I mean, I invest in a little bit of lead too, right, Matt Stingray?
That's right.
giving you
Lead and copper are precious metals.
And the money's just flowing in tonight, guys. Clam Walker
Awesome.
will always be remembered.
We're
as
gonna break his
guy
pockets.
I'm telling you, man.
That's great.
Thank you
Nice.
very much for your generosity, seriously. And I think due to the subject of tonight, I think we definitely need to invest that. So
that's right.
There you go.
You'll invest your shares. So you'll have to give me your PayPal email so I can pay you your amounts.
Forget about it.
Money.
Yeah.
All right, so we have about 3 minutes left. What do you guys want to finish off with? Anything you want, man. And don't all speak at once because I can't hear you. I can't hear you all when you're trying to speak over each other. All right, well, it might be a good time to finish the show then, huh? Well, I want to thank everybody in the chat that participated. I especially want to thank the generosity of the super chats and but I do appreciate everyone, each and every one of you. We have 25 on right now. I dearly appreciate every single person that supports my channel, and I know these guys speak on my behalf as well. Without you, we wouldn't be living our dreams. I mean, honestly, like I love what I do and do what I love. And as I said in the beginning of this broadcast, that my two rules is to have fun. Number one, have fun, and number two, learn rule number one. As soon as this stops becoming fun, YouTube is done. But without you guys, the subscriber, we're nothing. And I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure you guys would do the same as well. So,
Absolutely.
100%.
So you guys want to give us your tagline to finish off, and I can actually clip you off one at a time. So Josh, what's your give us your tagline, and I'll you off one by one.
I don't think I have one. I usually just say, "Thanks for stopping by to the Town Watch.
Yep.
Appreciate it." Yeah,
There we go.
Like that. So,
All right.
God bless.
Bye, Josh.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
I say, rock that watch.
Rock it out, baby. All right, bye, buddy.
Yep, take it easy.
All right, Chris.
Thanks for logging on. Catch you guys in the next video.
All right, bud. Thanks again, man. All right, everybody. Always remember that there's always time to be kind to one another. Please take care of each other. Thank you for joining us tonight, and I'll see you guys next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews. God bless.